everybody, another riveting episode of Avion Awesome. It is a foggy morning here in Central Florida this morning. Everything just feels wet. Everything is just damp AF. It's pretty soggy here. So last night we did happen to get a few rain showers. One thunderstorm kind of off in the distance. You could hear it kind of booming around, but no real impact where I'm at. But it did start to kind of rain, and obviously when it rains, I mean, just everything is just saturated. And because the humidity is so high right now, I think the dew point is like 66 or 67, and that's literally the exact temperature that it is right now. Perfect conditions for a totally swampy camping experience. Hey, but you can't have it all, right? I mean, if you want dry, you go back up toward the north where all the moisture is on the ground. If you want to be cold and dry, head north. If you want to be warm and wet, go downtown. I'm the biggest nerd. I don't even know why I said that. So this morning, I am trying to get caught up on my laundry. And so when you're at a campground, that's the best time to use up as much electricity and as much water if you were in a sticks and bricks. So I'm going to try and get as much of my laundry done, all the shorts that I wore over the last week, bed sheets, any sort of towels that you might have, get all of that stuff done while you have access to full hookups. Because, you know, if you go boondocking again for another 4, 5, 7 days or whatever, you're not going to have access. Everything has to be conserved as much as possible. So take a day out when you finally get to your campground and hook up and just knock all that kind of stuff out. Do your laundry, take your Instapot, cook yourself up several meals. So like last night I had pork ribs in the Instapot. I just threw in my spices, the barbecue sauce, and the ribs, and then an hour later they was done. Also, while you're at it, take this opportunity to grab all of your chargers. Make sure you charge up all of your batteries. So if you've got cameras and stuff like I do, you're going to want to have all of your batteries charged up, both for the cameras, all of your battery-powered lights, emergency radio, power banks especially. These things are just invaluable, so it's probably a good idea to maybe have a couple of these on hand. This is a 20,000 milliamp battery bank. I've been using this one for probably the last 2 years, I guess. And this thing is still going strong. Love that thing. If you guys want to know any more about it, links in the description. Also, if you happen to be like a YouTuber or a social media guru while you're at a campground or when you're in civilization and you happen to have good cell reception, now would be the time to do all of your social media stuff. Plan that stuff out as much as you can. If you've got several videos, maybe try and edit all of them and schedule them out into the future so that you don't always have to worry about putting up new content each and every single day. And what I am finding already is that the more you can do when it comes to your social media presence, because, you know, I'm a photographer, I've got, you know, another channel. It has made it hard for me to do my show so far. And I'm trying to figure out my schedule and my routine to kind of figure out how exactly I'm going to make sure that I still am able to get episodes out on my other channel. You see, vlogging is fairly easy. I mean, it's basically just an impromptu record of everything that you do in a day, basically. But my photography show, I mean, I actually have to kind of produce that a little bit. I have to do a little bit of research on whatever it is that I'm going to talk about for that show, for that day. And because it's semi-topical, it makes it just a little bit harder to do stuff not on the day of. You know what I mean? Because if I get too far behind, everyone's like, oh, we already heard all this. We already know all this. So unfortunately, while I'm still trying to figure out my life, how things are going to go, I feel like my photography channel is going to suffer a bit. And I know that the vast majority of you all are from my photography channel. I appreciate y'all though. Thanks for coming and hanging out. But I do want to help try and grow this channel a little bit. I mean, if I am going to do some major vlogging or whatever, I mean, you want people to see your adventures. You want people to share your life with. Else, why would you even record the first one? There's absolutely no point. The main point that I was trying to get at is that while you have access to good signal, water, electricity, and all that stuff, now would be the time to recharge, metaphorically speaking. Just get everything done that you can possibly get done because while you're on the road or while you're dry camping or boondocking, you're just not going to have all those conveniences. So it's best to do it while you have the chance, while you have the opportunity. And then if you are not like me, you will better plan for all of your social media stuffs, release that stuff on a pre-planned schedule ahead of time, because honestly, in some remote places, signal's not always going to be that great. Alright, boys and girls, I've had enough relaxing time. I got most of it in yesterday, finishing up my morning jolt. It's time to get a few projects done. So today's project is to finally tame all of these wires and kind of get everything situated properly the way I should have before I left. It's just I didn't have enough time. I mean, I was doing stuff every single day. So let me go ahead and give you a brief overview of what I'm working with. So right here, that is the Energy Kodiak. I've talked about that a lot here on this channel. Still running great, still doing fine, and I will constantly let you all know how it's doing as we go along. So those are the two lead acid batteries that I got as extensions for this system. The biggest problem that I'm encountering at the moment is that when I actually want to access 120 volt outlets, while I have really convenient access in here for the RV plug now, so the RV plug comes up through that hole and then plugs in right there, I still don't have access to all the 120 volts. And I also can't read the metering system. I have zero idea, without lifting up all the bed, the bed compartment, without doing all that in order to see what my voltage is. So basically I've got two options. I can walk outside and open up my garage door and read it like that, which I've had to do pretty much since I started. I mean, if I was ever unsure about how much voltage my batteries had, I would have to grab my keys, walk outside, and then check voltage. So first option is I can buy a battery meter, or I can swoop this back around to the front so that I can just pop this compartment open and actually check. But if I do that, that means I'm going to make it harder on myself to get the RV plug in there. So it looks as though the best option for me is going to be buying a voltage meter, basically a voltage or an amp meter, and I'll just hook it to the batteries, and then I'll be able to read what my what the current state of charge is, and find out more information without having to go outside. Because as much as I would really like to swoop the Energy Kodiak back around, I don't know, it's not very practical. I mean, if that's the only thing I had to do, it wouldn't be worst case scenario. I mean, I can still feed the RV plug over to the Energy Kodiak and plug it in. It's just not very easy or practical. Another thing I could do is I could lay the Kodiak down on its back so that both sides of the Kodiak still get airflow, and I could plug in really easy, but then I still have to raise up the bed compartment in order to read my state of charge. So if it ain't one thing, it's another. So I literally have a conundrum no matter which way it goes, unless I get an external battery metering system. But I don't really want to continuously add new stuff to the system, because I mean, it just keeps adding more and more and more weight. That is the #1 advantage to doing a custom built solar system, is that you can have your solar charge controller where it's most convenient. You can have your inverter where it's most convenient. You get to have your battery monitor and amp meter where it's most convenient, and all of it is exactly where you want it. Whereas with the Kodiak, yes, it is all in one. Yes, it is super duper portable. But if you have it in a configuration like I do, there's probably going to be some sort of compromise that you're going to end up having to make almost in any situation. So one of the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this old coax cable. Like it was actually ran up into the wall, and then it used to plug in right there. I don't need that. I don't watch cable. Well, I mean, I do, but I use YouTube TV, so anywhere I have an internet signal, I'm good to go. I don't even think that one in particular works. I mean, I guess it probably does realistically, but I'm never going to put a TV there. I don't want the cable in here. It's just extra weight. If I really want a TV, I've got the one up front. But I have been in here full-time for 2.5 months. Never used it. So I know I'm never going to use this. So got me some snips, and we're getting rid of that wire. If someone else wants it, they can install something themselves. Goodbye. Sweet Mary Jane! Alrighty, boys and girls. So I've done all my work in here, at least as much as I can do right now. Now, I want to just say that when I look at this, it looks like simple. But I've also seen other people do their wiring setups, and I'm always just like, holy crap, man, I don't know what the hell's going on in there. I'm going to try and break this down just as easy as possible, or as easy as I possibly can. One of the great things about the Kodiak is that it can be charged both with the AC brick and the high input solar input. Alright, so while this is charging via solar, the AC port, it won't work. See, right now the light is turned off. But if I unplug the solar, so let's just say that the sun's gone down and now the solar port isn't putting power in there anymore, immediately the AC brick turns on. So it's dual function. So when we've got high input, the low input doesn't work. So it's got like an automatic switch in there. I've set it up this way so that when I am plugged into shore power, this plug will immediately take over at night, right? So that it tops off the batteries even at night. So I've got the brick coming along there, and I drilled this hole back when I was still at home. I'm running 3 cables up through here. So one of them is the power for the AC brick. So that's right here. Right now, this is the refrigerator plug. But when I'm not plugged into shore power, obviously my AC outlets, they're not going to work, right? So this will no longer work, and I'll have to depend solely on whatever energy that I've generated during the day. And then when this is, when I'm not connected to shore power, this is going to have to be removed and plugged into this. So what I've done here is I have like these 4 USB charging ports, and then I've got this thing that's got an AC outlet on that side, an AC outlet on that side. And I've got its cable running down, and right now it's not plugged up to anything. Because I just ordered on Amazon, I ordered an extension cable that I can run over here to the Energy Kodiak and plug it into one of its 120 volt outlets on the front. When I'm about to leave from a location that does have shore power, I will just unplug the refrigerator and then plug it into here, and then it will immediately start drawing power from the Kodiak. Also, I'll have access to 4 USB ports so that I can recharge. I end up getting some of these rechargeable magnetic LED lights. These things are pretty daggone awesome. They're originally supposed to be like closet lights, right? With a motion sensor, so that when the closet's opened, the light turns on, but the light only stays on for like 18 seconds. So for me, 18 seconds is trash. But you can just long press and turn it on. And I mean, it lights up extremely well. Also, my tension rod here is metal, right? So remember, I used to have that light right there, but I killed the 12 volt. So all I have to do is it just easily magnetically stays up there. I can point it both in this direction so that I can light up the bedroom area, or when I'm boondocking, I can just rotate it around the tension bar and it'll light up my kitchen area. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And I'm not using any type of battery power from this, because I'll be charging these during the day. I'll plug this up to one of these 4 USB ports, along with these that I have installed in the bathroom, so that when I'm when I'm boondocking without power, I've got these little motion sensor lights too. Again, they only stay on for about 18 seconds. Sometimes that's more than enough for me to use the restroom. Other times, I just sort of walk around with them and light up whatever I'm wanting to light up. Also, if maybe one of the batteries is dead on the other ones, I can just clip it right here onto the kitchen vent hood. Gives me enough light to kind of get back and forth. I can also stick it onto my refrigerator. And I've got two of them. And they mount magnetically. But because I killed the 12 volt, I originally wanted them to replace the two side lights here on the mirrors so that I would have some light when I'm getting ready or if I'm going to the bathroom. So anyway, that's what I've got going on today. And pretty much got it all done. This is much cleaner, much more manageable now. I just sort of zip tied all my lines together so that they stay together and they look nice. Of course, I'm the only one that ever sees them, but like I am kind of an organization freak, so this was the route I chose. That still allows me to expand out this way. It allows me to have some accessories here. And when I get those new components in, I didn't just get an extension cord for that. I also got an extension cord for one of the 12 volt outlets up there, and I'll show you how that all goes down when I get it in on Sunday. Alright, boys and girls, that's all I've got for you all today. I'm not going to film anymore today. I'm going to enjoy the rest of this gorgeous day. It's now just before noon, so I get to do whatever I want for the rest of the evening. I'm going to take Duncan for a walk. And, I don't know, maybe go for another swim. Who knows? It's a warm enough day. It's about 84 degrees outside right now. At any rate, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to the channel for more Avion Awesome adventure, travel, photography, vlogging stuffs. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys again on the next one. Peace!